All right, good morning and welcome to another episode of RoadFS Detail Memoirs. I'm Jody.
And I'm Rod.
And I'm Beth.
And we have Beth with us, man. It is another episode of Women in Detailing for RoadFS Detail Memoirs. And I tell you, it's been absolutely amazing. Actually, yesterday I went through all of our past episodes and found all of the women that we've interviewed this year, and it's been awesome. I mean, we've had Renee, the buffing queen, Jennifer Turcotte, of course, Diane Doyle, and Diana Balboni, and yeah, it's just been awesome. So we're super excited to have you, Beth.
Me too, and I like following that list.
Oh, it's
yeah, it's big shoes to fill, though.
Yeah,
yeah, well, but you do it so easy.
Yeah, but anymore it shouldn't be that there's a Women in Detailing month, because it's such a frequent thing that it just seems, I mean, to me it seems kind of weird. I mean, I have 3 daughters and a wife, and I'm surrounded by women all day long, so it doesn't really faze me that much. But when people say something, when they came out and said, hey, this is Women in Detailing month, I was like, okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, it should be, but there's a lot of them out there, so.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I got the notification there.
Well, and yeah, and that's an interesting point, Rob, because I remember when I got the email blast about it, I'm like, and my first reaction was, yeah, so? And I'm like, there's amazing women in the industry, and we meet and we talk to them all the time, and they're having such a crazy impact. And I'm like, okay, well, we got to highlight it since they're highlighting it, because I mean, it is important, right? I mean, we still are pushing some of those envelopes and trying to make sure that you guys are, noted for the amazing job you're doing. So how did you get involved in detailing? Because you're in a family-owned business, right, with Rodd?
Yes.
So
My background is like big agency advertising, so it has nothing to do with anything car related. I moved to Georgia to be near my oldest daughter, my grandbabies, and Rod asked if I could help him out. That's my uncle, he's my mom's baby brother. He asked if I could help him out, try to get some stuff organized and get like full contact lists. I was like, yeah, I can help out for like a year or so. And here we are almost 4 years later. So that's how I got involved. It was literally just to help him get organized, and stuff like that. And here I am. Then I went and did the training. And
so how did he get you to stay?
Well, because I ended up that I love it. I really love the interaction with clients and being out there and seeing what's going on, learning new things. I'm always looking to learn new things. So I don't touch many cars, but knowing that I can, that's, self-gratification for me, for sure. Yeah. And then, I have the ability of working with my uncle. We're super close. So that's been fun. I'm not just a number in the corporate cog, so to say. And it's been really good. We really balance each other out.
Yeah, you guys do. You gotta have the opposite personalities, I've noticed. Yeah. And it's ironic because I happen to be an Uncle Rod myself. So, it all kind of comes full circle.
Uncle Rod for the best. And he's not even standing over my shoulder.
Well, he could peer through the window every once in a while just to check up on him.
He is. He's right. Actually, he is back there. So he could.
In fact, I thought I saw him walk by.
Yep, that's him right there.
Yep, there he is. He's checking. He's like. So explain to everybody about the shop, where you guys are located, and then kind of the parameters of what you guys do.
Okay, so we are located in Kennesaw, Georgia. We are just northwest outside of the perimeter of Atlanta. So we're about 30 minutes northwest of Atlanta, right off the highway, Interstate 75. We pretty much do it all. We do everything from your basic detailing, and now we're offering full color sanding, restoration. We're doing it all, and everything in between. So ceramic coatings, pretty much anything that can be done, we do. So it's been pretty good. There's a lot of competition as far as the detailing aspect of it. There's a lot of other detailers. We do mobile service as well. There's a lot of mobile detailing, being in such a concentrated area. But luckily, there's not many that are offering like the more higher end color corrections and stuff like that. So that kind of sets us apart quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's a good point. I mean, you're in a big market, and I think a lot, one of the things that's interesting is we've talked to people, they either struggle with being in a small market or they struggle in being a big market. And I often hear, well, if I was in a bigger market, I would be successful. Well, if you're in a bigger market, you have lots of sharks.
Yes.
So how are you guys, really differentiating yourself and grabbing your part of the market that you're going after?
I mean, honestly, one big part of it is our pricing is higher than some of the others, but that's because we're delivering a higher quality. So that to me is already knocking out a good percentage of, the people that are going and doing, the office specials, which we used to offer. Where you go into an office, charge $50, we'll wash all the cars, however many we can get done in a day. We're not doing that level stuff anymore. We're pretty much, we don't touch a car for under $100, period. So that cleans out, that brings us up to a different level as far as what our demographic now is. We're not touching that smaller market. We're leaving that for the smaller guys. The other thing that we do is we do a lot of meet and greets and stuff like that with other detailers in the area. So if I have someone who wants the mobile service and they want that, $100 detail, I'm sending them out to those detailers, to the other guys in the area. So now I have all these guys that when they have someone come to them who wants something they can't offer, they're sending them to me. So that, to me, is the best way to do it. I make sure that everyone knows my name, and I'm friends with a lot of the other detailers in the area, and I think it's really important. I don't talk bad about anybody. I definitely have my preference of who I'm referring out to, but I try to work together with everyone, because then that way I'm not trying to step on anybody else's toes, and in return they're giving me clients.
Yeah, that's interesting, because there was a thread yesterday I was reading where somebody was asking, why would you tag another detailer or another detailing company? And that's a really perfect example of that. Is because of the partnerships, and there's a symbiotic relationship. I know a couple of guys in Utah that they help each other out on bigger jobs, and then they'll share a shop. So, it's like, hey, Jody, I need your shop for this weekend because I got this big ceramic coating job and it's hot outside. But they really work together, and they formed a partnership that helps both of them.
Absolutely.
So that everybody's doing, well.
So on those meet and greets, I mean, you're doing those with fellow detailers, but are you doing anything where you actually invite clients in for like education days as well?
We haven't actually as of yet. It's something that's on our list of things we want to do. We want to do some workshops and things like that. We just moved into our shop in September after being mobile for 8 years. So that was a lot of changes for us. We were all mobile for 8 years, and then, kind of going into now we have a shop, and it's amazing how different detailing is in the shop versus in the field. It's a lot different for me too. I worked from home, for a few years, and now I'm having to come to work every day. So going through all those kind of ups and downs and getting all that ironed out, and then essentially building a whole new client base, because of course the clients that have been using us for 8 years for mobile service, they don't want to come to the shop. That's not the convenience factor for them. So essentially building a whole new customer demographic in the shop as well, and balancing all that. And then COVID slowed things down pretty significantly when we were thinking that we were going to start ramping that up. But it's on the horizon. It's something that's definitely on our to-do list. Hopefully by fall, we'll be able to start doing some of those.
So are you guys back to a place where you're breathing again?
I would like to say yes. It seems that way. I would say like March was a pretty normal month for us. April, we had like a really good week, and then we had a really bad week. So it was like a 50% month for us. June was terrible. best months without doing a big project. The really big projects, I do a lot of like car show type things. Without having a big project, this is probably our best month that we've ever done.
Wow.
So it's just a question of, is it going to sustain? Is it going to stay this way? Or is, next month going to be like soon? Hopefully not. But
yeah, it's been kind of interesting talking to different people. It's very regional. It's very specific to an area. Some people like you are just slammed this month, and other people are just trying to maintain what they've got. And but it's been a very interesting. We have an advantage of we can talk to people all over the world, really, and so some of the people that we talk to have literally that hasn't changed our position at all. We're doing about the same thing we always did, and other people have either gone up. Have you seen it? Have you changed, or have you added services, or is it just the same services that you're doing?
The services that I'm booking are still the same services. We're starting to put out on our Facebook page and stuff like that, like the color sanding. That's something that's new. But as far as actual bookings of that, our paint corrections, coatings, things like that, those are all pretty standard. Okay. We haven't really gone into the new stuff as far as big bookings yet. I expect it. I've had a lot of inquiry type things, but as far as our actual what's on the books, it's pretty much standard. Our everyday, the stuff we've been doing. So it's just interesting to me. I think everybody's kind of just tired of being stuck at home.
Yeah.
And I think that anything that has to do with cleaning or like that is right at people's forefront. I mean, I got two teenage daughters that both have their own cars, and both of them are like, I need to wash my car. And I'm like, that never happens.
Yeah. Yesterday I was washing my wife's Suburban, and I was like going, man, I really need somebody that can do this better than me.
You need a detailer.
But it's good enough for my wife, so that's good. I win kudos with the wife, but I'm like, yeah, I know Beth and some of the other ladies that are detailing, they'd look at this and go, you want to start over?
Yeah. Well, that is meeting expectations, Jody, and that's what detailing businesses are all about. You're meeting your wife's expectations and not exceeding them and spending 16 hours.
That is very true. It's all about expectations.
Yep.
So go ahead, Rodd.
No, go ahead, Jody.
So I'm wondering what the dynamic. I mean, you're working with your Uncle Rodd. I'm curious about the dynamic, because I've seen the dynamic when we're at SEMA or other places, but what's the dynamic like with you guys working together? And
To outside people, it's probably pretty funny. We really do balance each other out. I'm definitely the aggressive one, I guess you would say. I'm the one that, he's very passive. He's very quiet. It takes a lot to push his buttons. It does not take a lot to push my buttons. So we really do balance each other out for real. Like if it was anyone else, I don't know if they could work with me every day at the level that me and Rodd do. I can be a little bit type A. I can be a little bit snippy. I try not to be, but it is just kind of my personality. So when it comes to work stuff, I'm definitely the one that's like, oh no, we need to do this and we need to do this now. Like, why isn't this done? And he's very much the thing of, it'll be fine, which is good because I need that. I need the thing of taking a step back, taking a breath, it'll be fine. And then we're both really good about when we're not at work of turning that off. And then he's my uncle and we have a great time. We go to concerts together all the time. He's my #1 concert buddy. We do a lot of family dinners and stuff like that. And we're super close outside of work. It's a completely different dynamic. It's like 2 totally different relationships.
Yeah. And in fact, that's kind of what I was thinking about when I was asking the question, because you are very direct and in your face and let's go, go, go. And he's so just kind of, I can do that car. Let me go get on it, and he's so calm and just at ease, right? And so he probably needs some of your dynamic as well, right? To kind of really put the business forward.
Like I said, we both need each other. I mean, it really is. It's very important that we both balance each other out. That's not a one-way street by any means. He might need the push every once in a while, but I definitely need the whole take a breath. Like, it's going to be fine. So, because I'm very much of the, when I think of it, that's when it should be done. And that's not necessarily the way it needs to be. So,
Yeah.
we both have our strengths.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it's good that you can see it, because there's a lot of people, even though they're not related, they don't see that. And it's good to see that you need those dynamics, and you need somebody to push you in a certain direction too, either way. So, so you just got your shop in September. How big is your shop, the actual work area?
Our shop has a total of 2,500 square feet. It's about 1,000 square feet for the detail bays, the detail area, 500 for the wash bay, and then 500 for the office lobby retail area.
Okay, no, that's great.
Yeah,
that's a good sized shop.
It is.
Are you guys selling retail products as well?
We are. We carry like all the Opti line, the PNF line. We have all of that, and then your grit guards and things like that. We are also an AMSOIL dealer, so we have a lot of people that come in for that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. Different dynamic. Not a lot of people do that as well. I mean, the people that do it understand how it can, bring in other revenue, and you can do that. A lot of people don't know how to manage that, but that's good that you guys are able to juggle both.
No, we have it. I wouldn't say we sell, I mean, honestly, I would say most of our retail product that we're selling is to other detailers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty much what we, then we have the other detailers stopping in pretty often and picking up stuff.
So because your son's a driver, are you driving to become a distributor as well?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I kind of value my free time. I definitely stay busy. So, I'm not one to say no to anything except for bungee jumping. I will not go bungee jumping, but I'm not going to say no to much other stuff, in an absolute, but it would take a lot to convince me of that. So.
What, bungee jumping or becoming a distributor?
No, becoming a distributor.
Yeah, it's good she said that.
Yeah, I'm never going to bungee jump. I'm never going to bungee jump.
Next time we're in Las Vegas, we're jumping,
Yeah, no, not going to happen. Not going to happen. So, actually, you know what? I'll make a deal with you. When you actually hit the Bellagio stage as Phil Collins, we can discuss bungee jumping.
I'm on there. Phil Collins tribute right here. We're doing it.
You're going to break out in Sue
I can
Studio?
in the air tonight.
Okay. You might need to get that demo out there.
Maybe it'll be a mixed act. I'll be singing. You'll come bungee jumping out on the stage.
There we go. Good play style.
She'll be that lady that's like swirling around on those cloths and.
This sounds like a fiasco right now.
Hey, well, you know what? Whatever creates the entertainment, and what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it's on social media. So I'm sure I would get it out.
I would hope so.
One
top, Jody. One top.
Yeah, that would be all over. So, yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of conversations about Vegas this year. I mean, that's MTE just got canceled for August. Mm-hmm. And they're still officially having SEMA. I mean, it's a few months away, but currently you can't have a gathering in Las Vegas of more than 50 people. So those two things don't jive. SEMA and 50 people or less, because there's more than 50 people at the men's room at any given time, let alone at the door to get in. So that's going to be an interesting thing. There's a lot of mixed emotions. A lot of people have opinions one way or the other about it, but
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things that, having that many people, it's one thing when you're taking risks or something with family, stuff like that, but to put your entire family, your friends, your coworkers, like everybody, I don't know how I feel about SEMA. I love SEMA. That's one of my favorite things to do every year, but I don't know about this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodd and I have had a lot of discussions about it, and you know, he's like, yes, I'm on the ledge here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to see everybody.
Yeah, the seeing everybody and making the connections and all of that is fabulous. And talking about, you know, the future and getting everybody hyped up to kind of go into a new year every year is really enjoyable. We love hanging out at the P&S booth and being a part of that team. And quite frankly, that's the part that's on that side of the fence. The other side of the fence is the whole, it's an international event.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of thousands of people, and it just, yeah, that part of it is just not sitting well with me personally, just because of the problems we've had in the past, you know, month and a half with stuff. And we actually have 2 team members that have it here at Zenware. And so, and worse, Idaho's been a pretty protected community up until about a month and a half ago, and then it just went nuts. Yeah. But still, it's affecting a lot of people here, and it's, yeah, I'm on the fence on a lot of stuff like that. I'm not diving in head first into either camp of that, but
yeah, that's kind of where I sit. I'm not so concerned necessarily, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that I want to prove myself wrong, and I should have been concerned.
What, you don't want to go bathe in a Corona bath?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
no. That statement a year ago had a completely different meaning. Bathing in a Corona bath a year ago was, yeah. I mean, I'm in.
Yeah.
But this year, not so much.
So with you guys moving into your shop, are you guys pretty much, you're not doing mobile at all anymore?
We still do mobile. We have all our maintenance, all of our monthly maintenance and bi-weekly and weekly maintenance customers. They're all on contracts for a year, and we include mobile service for them. And then we do offer mobile services on our lower end detailing packages, because we're based all on package. And then we'll add on quote wise when we have the vehicle, but we are based on packages. So if you're booking a lower end package, we will do those mobile for an additional charge, a convenience fee. So a lot of people, you know, I have people that are like, oh, that's nothing, we'll pay that $25. And then I have other people that are like, oh, I'll just drop it off, I'm not going to pay $25. Yeah. So it works both ways. We're not doing nearly as much mobile. We're doing more in the shop, which is good. That's where we want to be, especially Rodd. Rodd wants to be here because we have AC.
There you go.
And
are you guys 5 days a week or 6?
We're mostly 5 days a week. We do offer a Saturday, like one Saturday appointment if it's necessary type of thing. We will offer it. If someone asks for a Saturday or a weekend, we'll accommodate, but we're pretty much Monday through Friday.
Yep. Which, when you said you valued your free time, I kind of assumed that, but I think that's hard for some people to understand, is you have to just draw a line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, years and years ago, Rennie came to Boise. I can't remember how many years ago. And he was talking to Jody and I about how we manage it at our end. And I basically told him, I was like, years and years ago, my wife flat out one day, my phone rang at about 7 o'clock at night and I went to answer. And she's like, oh no, nope, we're done. At 5 o'clock, your phone gets turned off. You don't answer it. You don't take phone calls. And I'll do it if somebody, you know, hey, I need you to help me next Thursday at 6 or something. But for the most part, I just turn it off, and I have to, because if you don't, as you know, running a business, it will consume you. You'll end up on that phone or doing stuff forever. You can never shut it off. So.
Yeah, it's never ending. There's always something to do. So I'm very adamant about it. I'm more so, Rodd's here at the shop all the time. He's here late. He comes in early. He's here on the weekends. He loves to be at the shop and doing stuff. Me, on the other hand, we have our hours listed until I think it's 1 o'clock on Saturday. Come 1 o'clock on Saturday until Monday morning at 8 a.m., I will not, you know, even Rodd will call me and ask me a question. I'm like, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Is it important? And he'll be like, okay, it's just real quick. And I'm like, okay. Because, yeah, I'm very much about work-life balance. If I wanted to work 24/7, I'd still be in the corporate world.
Yeah. And that's hard for a lot of people to understand, especially probably what you would call the owner operator. So just like me in a van driving around doing detailing, people don't understand that if you don't have that balance, you're going to kill yourself, and it can consume you completely. And I actually, Jody and I have got different backgrounds and everything, but I was in the corporate world for a number of years, and you have to draw the line. You have to say, I'm done. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not doing anything on these days, because there still isn't a balance. I mean, we always say balance, but there's 7 days in a week, and if 5.5 of them are work, that's not really a balance.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I would love to think that some people could get away with working 3.5 days a week. I would love to do it myself, but you can't. So, you still have to find a balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no problem saying we can't do that. I'll work with clients on arrangements, like if it is because you need a car, you have only one vehicle and you need to get to and from work, I will work with you and figure out a way to fix that for you before I will work all weekend.
Yeah.
So coming from corporate to small business, what are like some key things that you think are really important for small business owners to learn or recognize so that they can be successful in their business?
I think branding is number one. I think you have to brand yourself. You have to make it known who you are and what you represent. Exactly. His nice fancy little screen there. It's a great screen. Branding, I think, is number one, just because that's how you're going to retain people. People are going to remember you. And I don't think it has to be on a large scale even. I think just knowing that that you're not changing what your look every other day. I think putting out there what you're trying to represent. So for us, we're detailers. I think, having a clean vehicle if you're mobile, having a clean shop if it's a shop is important. We're detailing. If the area that they're dropping their vehicle off isn't clean, how much faith are they going to have in you that you're going to clean their vehicle? Another big thing to me is if you do have employees is making sure that they feel appreciated. It's not about money. It's not about money at all. Everybody, yes, everybody has their expenses. They have a certain amount of money they have to make, but everyone wants to feel appreciated. And you're going to get loyalty out of people based on appreciating them way more than giving them a raise per se. So I think that's very big. And pushing for them to have work, to have a balance, to have their personal life, and saying, I understand you want to work that day, but no, you need to be with your family. I think that's really important too, because then their wives will like you a lot more too. So yeah, I think those are definitely the most important. And then your clients, responding to them, educating them. I am very big. I do not push anything on anyone. I am very quick to say, you know what? Yes, I can do that for you. But if I do that for you, it's going to be, $150 more than if you just go take care of this yourself. And they appreciate that. Yeah. And then they come to me for everything else because I was honest with them and I didn't just say, oh yeah, no, I can do that for you and take them to the cleaners on it. Sure. Which, so I think that's really big too, is how you treat your clients and your customers and making them feel like you value them.
Yep, which I think is hard for some people to understand how to do that naturally. And some people just do it naturally. And, you're very personable, you're very approachable, and some people are not. And one of the things is, we go back to the women in detailing, one of the things that I've noticed is that overwhelmingly, you don't see a lot of the women that are involved in the detailing industry pounding their chest, talking about how badass they are, doing all that stuff. And I think that hurts a lot of the guys that are in the detailing industry, because your clients see that. Your clients don't want to go to a punk. They want to go to a professional business. And I think that's so hard for some detailers to understand. It's not about pounding your chest and look at how cool I am. And, it's not. Working on a car, and I am a car guy. My wife swears sometimes when I bleed, it comes out, single stage paint. But the fact is that a car is a car. And whether you're working on a Volkswagen GTI or whether you're working on a GT3 '83 Porsche or whatever, an antique Ferrari. It doesn't matter. It's a car. And to somebody else, it's their baby. And it doesn't matter how expensive it is. It is their baby. And that's why they're bringing it to you. So you need to take that kind of care with every vehicle you're doing, because that's somebody's car. You know?
Yeah, that's someone's investment. And if they've invested in a $50,000 car, well, that's because that was what they can invest in. You know, someone who has a $200,000 car, that's because that's what they can invest in. And it's important to recognize that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So how do people find you guys? I mean, obviously you're in the Atlanta area, but Atlanta's pretty big. So
we are. It's Next Level Detailing. We have our website is nldetails.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. It's pretty easy to find us because we rank pretty high up there, thank goodness. So you can Google Next Level Detailing Atlanta and we'll show up. So just look for the orange and red. It's orange and red everywhere.
Yeah, and I love your logo. You guys' logo, it just pops. It's like amazing. So yeah, so if you guys are in the Atlanta area, make sure you connect with Beth and Rodd. They are an incredible team. Rodd and I have hung with them at SEMA. They're super fun, especially Beth. She makes any event fun, and I know they will take care of you guys. And those that are tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. Beth, thank you for being our guest.
Yep.
And we'll catch the rest of you guys next week, just right here, same time, same channel, just next week. So you guys have a fantastic week, and we will check you next time right here on RoadFS Detail Memoirs.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Talk to you later, Beth.